Hey guys, Lofty here from LoftyArmory, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Glock 43X and talking about how well it does as a daily concealed carry. So before we get into the review, I want to mention that I've had this 43X for just over 2 months now, and I've done some work to it since then, as well as put a couple hundred rounds through it at the range. But for the purposes of this video, I've put it back in its OEM Glock case to show you what you would get if you purchased a brand new 43X. With that being said, let's get right into the review. So here we have the 43X in its original Glock case. Inside you'll find the gun itself, two 10-round magazines from Glock. These are single stacks. You get a magazine loader, but this is specific to these single stack magazines, so it's not going to work on, let's say, a Glock 19 magazine. You get a standard chamber lock. I got a trigger lock, but that might be specific to where I got it since I bought it at Bass Pro Shops. Back here, you'll find a little bit of paperwork, just the Glock manual and such. And you also get a brush head and handle for cleaning your barrel. And that's about all you'll get inside of the Glock case. So before we go any further, let me just show the camera that we have an empty chamber and that all magazines are empty as well. And now we can talk about the actual gun. As you can see, mine has a red dot optic on it, and this specific one is the Holosun 507K X2. But I have put in some range time with the Glock before the optic was put on. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to talk about how it shoots with the standard sights, and we'll leave the red dot for another video. So right out of the box, one of the first things that I loved about the 43X was the full-size grip that you get on such a compact gun. The 43X actually features a grip length that is the same as the Glock 19, except on a much thinner frame. So the Glock 19 has a 32mm width, whereas the 43X has a 28mm width, and I can tell you firsthand that those 4mm make a world of a difference. When you're handling the Glock 19, it feels much bulkier, it feels like a much larger gun, but in reality, the grip length is just the exact same. Here I have the Glock 19, so I can compare it, show you that the chamber is empty, and a dead trigger. If you compare side to side, you'll see that they have the exact same grip length. And then side by side like this, you'll see the 43X has a much shorter slide as well. So the Glock 19 has a 174mm slide length, whereas the 43X has a 154mm slide length. So that makes the 43X about 3/4 of an inch shorter. But if you check out the specifications, like I said, you'll see that both of them have a 128mm height, including the magazine. So that is from the top of the slide to the bottom of the magazine. And both of them have the exact same height there. So you're gonna get the same grip on a much thinner gun with obviously some less rounds. Now let's talk about how it shoots. The 43X comes chambered in 9mm, just like the Glock 19, but with the exception of being a single stack. So this means that out of the box, you're gonna get 10-round magazines, making the capacity of the 43X 10+1 in the chamber. But that's something that can be fixed with an aftermarket magazine that we're gonna talk about more in depth in a separate video. But just to show you really quickly, this is the Shield Arms S15. It fits the 43X like the standard OEM mag. But obviously you hold 15 in here versus 10. There are some issues that come with the magazine, so that's why I want to do it in a separate video. We're going to talk about the magazine as a whole and the mag catch that they ask you to get. So the 43X obviously has slightly harsher recoil, but that's to be expected. And I mean slightly harsher when compared to the Glock 19. Larger handguns with longer slides in the same caliber will always feel easier to control. So the recoil difference isn't something I'm really worried about. It's nothing crazy. And the 43X is still a fun and controllable gun to shoot. The OEM sights are satisfactory, I would say. They are some standard Glock sights with the white painting on it so that you're able to see them easier. But if you wanted to, you could upgrade them to some night sights so that they're easier to acquire in a dark setting. The trigger is also satisfactory, I would say. That's something that I see people switch out a lot on the 43Xs, but I honestly don't see an issue with it. It's a pretty nice trigger. It has a pull weight of about 24 newtons, which is about 5 pounds. So it's a 5-pound trigger pull. Nothing crazy, again, pretty standard. I think it's actually slightly lighter than the Glock 19 trigger, and I think it's just fine. So with that being said, I think the 43X is a great gun out of the box, and of course it features the reliability that you get with a Glock. But now let's talk about the 43X and concealed carry. So the 43X and concealed carry, like I've said, I've had this gun for about 2-3 months now, and it has been my everyday carry for concealed carry, obviously. Ever since I got it, it's a super comfortable gun to carry. Compared to the Glock 19, that thinner width and the shorter slide, I can tell you it makes a significant difference no matter what position you carry in. I usually carry on my right hip, and I really noticed a difference from switching to the 43X from the Glock 19. The Glock 19, although it wasn't per se uncomfortable to carry, it definitely wasn't the easiest to carry, at least for me. I didn't like the bulk of it, and I didn't like how long it was. And switching to the 43X was 100% the way to go. I've looked into other ones as well in the same category, like the Springfield Hellcat and such. But I really fell in love with the 43X, and it's been a perfect concealed carry ever since I got it. So all I really have to say about it is good things. If it's something that you're looking for concealed carry, I would say definitely do it. Definitely go look at it and check it out. It is 100% a great gun for concealed carry. So just to wrap things up, thank you guys for watching this 43X review. Pretty soon I'm going to be coming out with a review on the FN 509 Tactical, as well as the Smith & Wesson M&P 1522 rifle. So stay on the lookout for those. And again, thank you guys for watching this review, and I'll catch you next time on Lofty Armory.